Well, greetings everyone, and welcome to the Tuesday Tirade. It's me and Tom here to talk about some entertainment news of the day. What's going on, Tom?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. It's good to see you. Haven't seen you in a bit. Been a whole day, I think, at this point.
Something like that. A couple hours.
Finished up with some big news yesterday that I know we're going to talk more about today. It's kind of fed right into what I was planning to talk about with how the studios are having to change and how they'll have to continue to change and adapt in the future. Anyway, we've got a bunch of folks out in the chat. We got 10 here now. We'll say a few hellos and then we'll get underway. There's Darth Haster out there saying hello to everybody. We got V-Star out there. I hope you're doing well, Nancy. Brightest Days here. You're rolling the big six. We've got some more emojis coming on the channel, by the way, guys. We're going to put some more together. I have the opportunity because of all the great members to make that happen, so I'll be spending the weekend doing that. Stone Cold Jeremy says cheers to everybody. Well, cheers to you. We have Bear Dog weighing in the other room there. I need to grab him real quick. Keely Chow says hail, and we have Lord Runner. And the ever lovely Lola Meets. What's up, Lola? Tina Bojan says good afternoon. And Critisable the Crazed. So Jesse's in the house. What's up, Jesse? So you've got a pretty good notification. I'm going to grab the Bear Dog.
Bear Dog.
That's right. Just a second.
Hey, Jesse, how you doing? We got Jesse and we got Criticizable Crazed. We got Tina Bohan. How you doing? Lord Runner, what's up? What's up? Stone Cold Jeremy. How's everybody doing today? Brightest day in the darkest night. We got Biggles Mets. How you doing? How you doing? LDG Geeks and Joy. How you doing? Yes, it's about time, Jesse. It's about time. And yes, Bear Dog, Keely Chow. Bear Dog needs to go out or something. Has zero fucks to give about what time it is.
He doesn't care. When it's time to start the show, we start to act up. He's on my lap now. He wanted somebody to pay attention.
He just heard Dad talking.
Yeah.
He's like, you're talking and you ain't paying attention to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, hey, Sadie does the same thing to you, or the cats do ridiculous stuff.
Asshole does that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you're busy? Well, guess what? I want to be fucking pet right now.
Yeah,
it's not even 5 minutes in.
Nah, you're all right. We're recording a video? Hey, we're going to bark right in the middle, so you have to edit it.
What? You're recording something?
Yeah.
Why would we care?
His timing's impeccable. But and he got groomed about a week ago now, and they cut his hair so close that he's uncomfortable. So yeah, so it's been a week of I'm uncomfortable, Dad. So, but it's cool. He's worth it. Every extra minute I get with him from age 15 on has been a blessing. So, Theme Park Casuals in the house. What's up? Biggles is out there. Gosh, you guys rolling in? Hey, we got Darius Munchausen with one of the coolest avatars out there, kids. What's going on? Plus, he shot us a box of popcorn. Thank you for that, Darius. And Captain Trek, I hope everything went well at the doctor. It's good to see everybody here. So let's get started really, really quickly. I don't know. This Warner thing is still got some fire to it, right? I mean, we've got no. No,
well, I wouldn't say it doesn't. I mean, like, this is just like, I mean, we kind of predicted some of this was going to come, but some of this I would have never seen coming from a million miles away. I did not think that AT&T would just kind of run with its tail between its legs.
I don't know if I'd characterize it that way.
Well, it's like they're like, oh, we can't deal with this, and so they're letting Discovery deal with it now, and
Well,
they're axing people left and right. So I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah. Hey, look, I don't, like I said, I mean, Jason Kilar was brought in to do a job. He got about 1/3 of the way into it. There still was quite a bit more out there that wasn't working out the way he probably had planned. He found it probably more difficult to get rid of some of these, these insider folks that have been there forever, like Ann Sarnoff and others. And I think it just led to. Sorry, he's a wiggle worm. I think it just led to some problems for him. I mean, ultimately trying to get his way, and AT&T saw an opportunity to create lemons or lemonade out of lemons because, to be honest with you, Warner wasn't carrying its weight. So they retained 71% of the shares for this new entity, giving them a lot of authority and a really big chunk of what is going to be a very profitable situation, in my opinion. But yeah, I can understand where you see that, though.
Well, I think this goes deeper than that because I mean, when you're talking Ann Sarnoff's looking at leaving and stuff like that,
right? Yeah, that kind of a merger or that kind of situation.
Then Toby Emmerich, is he next? I mean, well, that's the thing.
I think Mikey's got it right on the button. In fact, I'm going to bring up his.
Well, and yeah, like when we heard about Hamada and Sarnoff, I'm like, okay, hold up, what's up? Because I can understand, okay, if they're getting rid of Jason Kilar, it's like AT&T kind of saying, yeah, our way of trying to do this failed. Then they would leave whatever, they had established at Warner Brothers and rebuild on that. But now it's like, nope, they're like starting from scratch and they're letting Discovery come in and take over, which I'm not saying is a bad thing.
Not right.
Because clearly, as we talked yesterday, the guy who's in charge over there knows what he's doing to a point. So anyway, go ahead and yeah.
No. It's just this, Mikey Sutton's been right on, I don't know, 100 times more than he's been wrong. I mean, and again, I mean, he's over there talking to everybody. I mean, and they talk to him because he doesn't give up anybody. So he gets some pretty good information. He overhears stuff, all kinds of things. Thank you, Mr. Tickle Trump, for the $1.99 super sticker, my friend. I appreciate it. But his story here is something that I've added into what's going to be tomorrow's video. It's talking about this and my gut reaction to it in a kind of an unscripted way. So hopefully that video comes out well for everybody to watch tomorrow. But I'll read through this real quick. We'll get to it and we'll see what we think of it. Could Warner Media and Discovery merger restore the Snyderverse? And this is a good question. He does draw some conclusions at the end here, so pay attention. An imminent merger between Warner Media and Discovery has insiders wondering if it could lead to what fans have been wanting, to restore the Snyderverse, right? Various trades leaked the deal on the merger over the weekend. Yeah, no kidding, including Sunday night's major report. The deal under discussion was a joint venture that would merge AT&T's media assets, primarily the collection of networks and the storied Warner Brothers studio, with Discovery's collection of domestic and international cable channels. Again, you're talking about a cadre of 15 properties out there. They added that Warner Media and Discovery would be united to form a new company. All of this has been correct, right? Everything that he reported before it happened was accurate. The arrangement is valued at over $100 billion. This is where he missed a little bit because I think it's coming out somewhere around 60, but that's fine. The plan is to announce it by Monday, which they did. As with any merger, firings and musical chairs are inevitable, which we've talked about. And CNBC added that it's likely the structure of the deal will combine Discovery with all of Warner Media, which will become a new publicly traded company owned by AT&T and Discovery shareholders, which is exactly what happened. They are pulling off a so-called reverse Morris trust, and they're merging it with Discovery so they can spin it out. Probably it'll be a little bit easier for the regulators to swallow that way. In this organization, Warner Media CEO and Jason Kilar. Oh, my goodness, we have a special guest. Andre has joined us. Hello, Andre. What's going on?
Yes, hello. How are you?
I'm very well. We're revisiting what Mikey Sutton reported yesterday because this story continues to get some traction, and there's some elements we didn't talk about. I think that we can talk about some more. But thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, no, absolutely, my pleasure. And yeah, how fun was that? Mikey Sutton dropping scoops in our live show.
I know. I know, and that's the thing. I mean, he just and everything I was saying to the audience before you had arrived that he's right 100 times more than he's wrong. It's just
Yes.
it's amazing. It's
I mean, no one bats 100, but
no,
his track record, that's a pretty
yeah.
freaking decent one.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, with this, I mean, you know, he called exactly what was going to happen, the way this would play out. It did later in the day. It was pretty impressive. And you know, here we are. I mean, it talks about the oopsies that were made along the way under Jason Kilar, although not his fault, with Christopher Nolan kind of getting super irritated with the studio. That the chair and CEO of Warner Media Studios, Ann Sarnoff, and Warner Brothers Film Studio Chairman Toby Emmerich essentially shocked the world. They did, because they said a lot of bad things about a film property that, you know, really was a good way to reach back out to fans. And then they move forward on the day and date release cycle, right? Which of course Jason Kilar had to sign off on. And again, some of as to quote, some of the industry's biggest filmmakers and most important movie stars went to bed the night before thinking they were working for the greatest movie studio and woke up to find they were working for the worst streaming service. That's a pretty rough quote from the from Nolan.
I think that was Christopher Nolan who said that.
About
that was him. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that was interesting because I mean he. I'm sure he wasn't thrilled with what happened with Tenet. Of course, he spoke about it, but it was going to be the canary in the coal mine for them anyway, which played to his detriment. I think that film could have made an incredible amount of money if it had been released at a different point in time. If he had just agreed to a delay, and I can understand not wanting to release it, simultaneously day and date, which again, I mean, he's a pretty big deal. You kind of want to listen to a director of that stature. But anyway, so regardless, we get to the end of this, and they start to talk about the fact that Walter Hamada, Ann Sarnoff, and Toby Emmerich could possibly be moved. I think they're more likely to be gone. And to that end, I think that's where we need to start before we get further into this. Do you think that we will see the departure of Ann Sarnoff, of Walter Hamada, and of Toby Emmerich? I mean, it seems to me that's quite likely.
I certainly would think so. It seems exceedingly likely to me. And what is more, I think it would be good. I mean, Toby Emmerich, he has done a lot of good things. He has done some not so good things. Mm-hmm. And I think that he has been at Warner quite long enough, and a change in environment, doing something with Netflix that we know that he's been talking about, preferably something far away from genre productions. Maybe that would be good for him. Maybe he could find something that he is more knowledgeable in with Netflix, some other genre altogether, and excel in that. That would be excellent. Same thing with Walter Hamada. I'd be all in favor of him going elsewhere, because he did really, really well with the Conjuring things. He did. He absolutely did. And I was optimistic about him being able to bring the A game to the DC universe. But the opposite happened. I mean, everything that we have heard makes him sound like a complete inept when it comes to comic book movies. And Ann Sarnoff, well, she's just old school Hollywood royalty, and the only thing that she wants is to maintain her own power and talk down to the plebs in the audience. She should be kept far away from anything that has a fan base, and where she would be more suited, I don't know. Maybe now would be a good time to retire from the industry altogether, because really she's a dinosaur in everything.
She is, yeah, but and again, you mentioned her family ties. I mean, she is Hollywood royalty. Several family members that came out of the system,
Exactly. To be clear, though, she married into family royalty or Hollywood royalty. She wasn't there herself. She married into it, which again probably only goes to show that she's all the more driven.
Maybe so, but if she were going to be out of the studio, she could run her own production company pretty well. She probably do pretty well with that. It takes an ego-driven person to run that type of endeavor,
It does, but the challenge is just because she has her own production company doesn't automatically guarantee that she's going to be able to get anything off ground. Even if she might have been like yesterday's head honcho, but the next generation of executives who are going to be greenlighting content increasingly for a streaming world, and who knows if they don't deliver, they're out of there. Sure, they'd probably be happy to greenlight Saranov's projects, but I think there's going to be some more scrutiny there, and she better hope that the people that have greenlighting powers are someone that she are on good terms with, and that she's able to offer them something.
Yeah, and then, like I said, I mean, where do you think Hamada would end up? I mean, Toby over at Netflix makes a lot of sense. They have a lot of different things they pursue. It would give them an opportunity to pursue those things, with their co-CEOs kind of like managing the way that company operates. They have some people that they've brought in from other studios to run different elements. I'm curious. Do you see him? Do you really see Toby over there? And do you think Hamada would make his way over to Netflix or Apple Plus or something like that?
I don't know that would be I don't know that would be a good move for him, because if he has shown anything, it's that he did really, really well in the low budget horror world. Right. And he seemingly wasn't about the handle going to the big budget comic book world well at all. He seems to be extremely out of touch, since, again, something else we could reveal yesterday was that we had heard from Walter Hamada that he's a big fan of J.J. Abrams. He wanted him to do as much as possible. He just wanted to outsource the entire DC things to Bad Robot and just sit back and relax while J.J. Abrams worked the exact same kind of magic on DC that he did on Star Trek. And apparently, Hamada is so delusional that he thought that J.J. Abrams actually did good on Star Trek, which only goes to show that he evidently doesn't know big budget productions at all or their audience. I would think that he should go back to what he knows best, but in a higher position. I think that he would be a great fit with someone like Blumhouse or A24 or something like that. If I was him, that's where I would be giving phone calls and like using, look at what I did for the Conjuring universe. Help me set up something with you guys. Because that low budget horror world, he really excelled in that.
Blumhouse. I mean, Blumhouse is one of the better studios when it comes to the low budget stuff. So yeah,
I think that he would be a really good fit with Blumhouse.
Potentially. Hamada is not the one that I think is the problem. First, let's talk about who Ann Sarnoff is. I mean, she is somebody who was hired not even a year ago, right? Like, so she hasn't even been here a year. And prior to that, we know she worked for Viacom and Netflix, right? Like, she was just, what do you call it? Not a scapegoat, but, she was just there to kind of...
With the fall guy?
Yeah, that's probably, and I don't want to say
or the fall gal, rather.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it's technically like that. But like, look, Toby Emmerich is my point I want to get to. That motherfucker needs to go. Okay, he is the guy that destroyed New Line Cinema, right? That's his fucking claim to fame. He has done nothing but make every bad movie that New Line Cinema ever made. He was the guy that took over after they ousted fucking Robert Shea. Like, this guy is a fraud and a half. His first movie he did, he got accused of plagiarism. And I think he even got sued, which would be Frequency. Like, this guy has been a problem for Warner Brothers since the start. He is the main source of the problem. Like, every problem they've had for the last 20 years, Toby Emmerich. Or 10, 15 years, Toby Emmerich. They need to get rid of this guy. I don't know how the fuck he got this job in the first place. I really don't. He was some low-level fucking guy in the office who got lucky on a couple movies. Like, I don't get him. I don't know where they keep hanging on to him like he's some great fucking president or something. I don't get it. Or CEO. I don't understand. But yet he's the only one whose name has not come up in any of this shit. Hamada's going to be gone. Sarnoff is going to be. She was just. What the fuck did they even bring her in for?
Well, we've already had like the rumors that Emmerich is looking to set something up with Netflix. We haven't had it in this article, but we've heard it elsewhere.
Yeah, but who gives a shit? Let's be real here. Who is actually going to be running Warner Brothers then, besides this one guy? So there you go. There's your answer. And when we heard that yesterday, I seen all the cards kind of falling into place because we've been saying this for the last few weeks, Andre. You know, this all. I didn't expect it to come down tumbling like this, though. And again, I think Mikey's right. If there was ever a chance for the Snyder cut to happen, now's the time. Or I mean, the Snyderverse to continue. I mean, now's the time because everybody who is standing in its way is going to be gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a quality statement. And again, I mean, that takes us back to what, Mikey Sutton's article was all about. It, if I can pull it back up again, it was this part here. Could Warner Media and Discovery merger restore the Snyderverse? Yeah, it really could. Zaslav is ruthless when it comes to fixing things, right? He fixes them or rebrands them or both. It's a point that I make in tomorrow's video, when I had some off the cuff thoughts with this merger, because there's some other things that make me a little skeptical where I was very, very optimistic yesterday. But the one thing that could happen is the hopes that they restore the Snyderverse. I think this is the last best chance for that to happen. I don't know where you guys fall.
I agree. Here's like the thing that one of the biggest proponents of the Snyderverse, someone with whom the Snyder Cut couldn't have happened without, is Jason Kilar. So yeah, the Snyderverse has not officially yet, but looks to be in the process of losing the people that were actively fighting against it. But it's also losing the one person that really fought for it. Now, we don't know exactly who else is in Snyder's camp or in this camp Snyderverse. There could be others behind the scenes there who are still there. That could very well be. But Kilar was the most prolific one. The hope, though, is that if you just go by the numbers, if you just go by streaming numbers and you compare Birds of Prey, Wonder Woman 84, and the Snyder Cut, those numbers will tell a very loud and clear message. And that message is continue the Snyderverse. Because that is one thing of those three recent things, which is a pure, unmitigated success. Well, you had some articles trying to rubbish it, but compare what they invested into that one thing and the enthusiasm it brought doesn't even compare to the others that were supposed to be big budget, wide 4-quadrant releases. Hell, Wonder Woman 84 was even a Christmas release. It was supposed to be a $1 billion movie.
Yeah.
By all indications, the Snyder Cut would have beaten it in the box office.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Tom.
Well, I was just to say, I think the one thing that we're overlooking more than anything is, okay, we're concentrating more on Snyderverse. That's fine. But go back almost a month now. What did I say what happened when Godzilla vs. Kong came out?
I said many things, so you have to be a little bit more specific.
I said Warner Brothers was getting chewed the fuck out by Legendary, and they were pissed.
Oh, that thing. Yeah, you did.
They were fucking irate. They're like, do you guys realize how much money we left on the fucking table here? Like, that's where I think this all came to a head. I mean, the Snyderverse probably has something to do with it, but I think the day this choice was made was the day that they dropped King Kong versus Godzilla, and that motherfucker was a big, huge hit. And Legendary's like, if you guys don't get this shit in order, we're not working with you anymore. And I think that's the same thing that happened across the board. So like AT&T's looking at it, look, we don't know what the fuck we're doing here. Get Kilar out of there, get Sarnoff and everybody else out of there. We're going to start fresh. They bring in this guy. It makes sense now. It all makes sense to me. And I mean, my thoughts have been kind of muddled because I just woke up before the show, but excuse me on that part, but like, this whole thing has come together. Like I've been seeing it coming. Like the people I've been hearing shit from, they've been saying something's coming down. Legendary was pissed. you know, this I knew they were going back to the theatrical day or they were taking away the day and date shit. Like I knew that was coming next year, and I said that before that even got out in public. And Andre and I have been predicting for how long that there's no fucking way Legendary is going to let Dune drop day and date.
Yeah,
not now.
on that one, we've actually been batting 100. I mean, we said like we said 1 year ago that this thing ain't coming out in 2020. It's going to be pushed back, maybe by a full year. So it turned out it was then coming out in September. So not quite a full year, but almost. Then we said, okay, it's going to go straight to HBO Max like the rest. Then that was the intention. Then things shifted, and Tom was the one who was really banging for, now it's going to get an exclusive theatrical release. And that seems to be the direction we're going.
Yeah,
I mean, that movie, more than anything, is the one that's like really, is the one that's kind of like predicting the way the industry is going.
Yeah. Because that's what I kept hearing from him. Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead. Also, greetings. Hi, Paulie.
Hi,
Paulie.
I just love it when Tom,
boxer.
You need a button culture. I fucking knew it.
I know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that clip. There's a bunch of clips I want to add, but you know what? I hate stopping good quality conversation, especially when somebody's on a roll. So
yeah. And thank you, Culture, for inviting me on the show.
I'm glad you're here. I figured if you're available, you know, you'd pop in, and I'm glad you did. So, but you know, and this, you know, again, I mean, Mikey Sutton points out here, AT&T and Discovery follow the money. Tom was talking, and so were you, Andre, yesterday, or speaking about the fact that they you know, Discovery is the little network group that could. I mean, they just really are. Zaslav's made them incredibly successful, and as Tom predicted, they've grown pretty well. And I think Paulie, you mentioned something about that yesterday about Discovery Networks, right?
He was talking about it. Yeah, he was saying what I was hearing, and that was that we have to have it. And that's the point I made, is Zaslav made Discovery a had-to-have thing if you're a fan of their programming, because that's what you were saying, Paul. He's like, what was it, the 90 Day Fiancé?
90 Day Fiancé lives. Yes, I mean, they're you know, what they have on Discovery Plus are phenomenons, from crime and ID shows to their reality shows. I mean, it's undeniable. It's the forces of entertainment, if you can call that. But yeah, man, those are hits, bonafide.
Well, and again, I mean, it's just they live. I mean, think of it, HGTV. I was talking about it yesterday. That's likely to be what I have on the plane when I'm flying across country or whatever, right? I mean, because you know, you get television on long flights, and that's just one of the networks I can go to because it's mindless. I can enjoy it. I like watching people rehab houses and whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, it's you know, that's a fun thing to me. So you know, it's you know, and it's not, you know, too girly, but you know,
they got just right? Like you said, they got the home improvement to you know. You know, they have the supernatural and paranormal shows. I mean, there's something for everyone, really.
Yeah, I think Zach Bagans is about ready to launch something new, or maybe I think that's actually a Discovery project. So, you know, and he's the supernatural paranormal kind of, you know, he was the superstar for a while. So, yeah, I don't know. I always feel like it's you know, that's the must see batch of channels, and I'm glad that, you know, they bundled it together with a quality streaming channel, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like in a bundle because I think that's how they're going to go about it. I really do. I'm going to stick to those guns and say they're going to pair them up as a bundle. You're going to get HBO Max and Discovery Plus, and they're still going to be able to maintain a high ARPU or APRU. No, ARPU. Yeah, ARPU.
I think you said it right the second time. But yeah, I mean, Discovery's got shows like everything from Deadliest Catch to, you know, I mean, I think I brought up yesterday, weren't they the ones who did like Storage Wars and shit like that back in the day? If I remember right.
They have a lot of those types of shows.
That's what I mean. Like, yeah, and that's what Paulie was saying. They got something for like everybody. Like, and you don't have to like be invested in it all the time either.
Well, and they have the crime stuff too on it and other places like that. Not only that, I'm going to say this one more time. I know I said it yesterday, but you're going to see TBS and some other stuff roll over to the Discovery side,
Yeah.
because that's lower tier, and you're going to see the upper tier portions of the stuff from Discovery make its way over onto HBO Max. But like I said, and it seems like a natural fit for Discovery to have a news organization there. Unfortunately, it's CNN, but they'll have a news organization over there, and we'll just have to see. I don't know.
Well, I know that was something Andre and I were talking about yesterday. Like, I think if anything, that's where he really needs to restructure CNN.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
The problem is, and this is again is something I cover in the video I'm releasing tomorrow. He's got a relationship with Jeff Zucker, who is probably the worst thing to happen to CNN ever, or news in general. So I just don't want him to keep him around any longer. I think when his contract expires the end of the year, he should be gone, and they should find somebody else to run, international and global and local. I think they really need a new person. I don't think it's him. So, but anyway. I think this also pivots towards them having the ability to change faster, to adapt quicker, to have the lean, mean feeling of Discovery. That's the other thing that Zaslav did. He's got lean, mean leadership, lean, mean products, the ability to pivot on a dime. And with Warner Media, it's like steering a crude oil tanker. I think it's not going to change direction very quickly. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there. But.
Yeah, no, of course it's going to take time because the changes that he does right now, you're not going to see the effect of them for a couple of years. Because right now you have all the movies that are already in the pipeline, all the TV series. I mean, it takes like minimum 1 year before anything that he greenlights gets to be seen by the audience. Minimum 1 year and a maximum of 3 years for most like movies and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, some things we can see pretty quickly, and that's like in things that get shut down. Case in point, Jason Killar already killed New Gods. Thank God for that. I'm so happy that we're not going to be treated with that horrible thing. And The Trench. Now, that I'm more sorry about because I think that actually would have been really cool. But anyway, hey ho, can't have everything. Yeah. But still, I think it's going to take a while. I mean, case in point, if we just focus in on the DC thing, because that's the whole thing in a microscope. Because again, this is the whole Warner Media complex thing. But if you just look at DC and the different regimes they have there, first you had the Snyder regime, but he was ousted in the middle of Justice League. He was instantly replaced by Jeff Johns and what's his name? Not John Berg, but Berg.
Everybody forgets though that Ben Affleck was in charge. Yeah, but everybody forgets that Ben Affleck was in charge for a short period between there too.
Yeah, but that was like a Snyder 2.0. So,
yeah, I know.
Never mind that.
But I know. But
he was basically replaced by Johnson Berg.
My point, though, is that it does add another number to the amount of people they've had in control of this shit, is my point.
Yeah, it adds another number before. But the point is that the prolific regime afterwards was the Johnson and Berg regime. And the first thing that they did was basically to restructure the Snyder Cut into the Whedon Cut with the approval from Emmerich to back them every single step of the way. And then they greenlit the release version of Aquaman, of Wonder Woman 84, of Shazam, and yeah, those were the 3 movies that they greenlit. And then they were ousted by the time that the Whedon Cut was released. But still, their 3 movies, they were still there for the next 3 years. By the time the first of their movies came out, Aquaman, they were already long gone. Their direction represented something that was halfway already abandoned. Of course, Hamada continued pretty much the same thing. But the first movie by him was actually Joker, and they put that together in less than a year. like the first proper thing, the one that was going to make everything okay again. That was Wonder Woman. No, not Wonder Woman again. That was Johnson Berg, but it was Birds of Prey. That was their movie. That only goes to show how long it takes before you actually see the full effect. It takes years.
Yep.
And I think that the biggest thing we might see, though, is that probably, as Mikey Sutton told us yesterday, Ben Affleck's Batman, is probably going to survive the Flash movie, giving a way out of the Hamada-verse and back into the Snyderverse, or rather the Batfleck-verse 2.0.
If that's the case, and I know you have to leave, Andre, do you think that they'll end up making that Batfleck series on HBO Max?
I think they will. I think that Zaslow is smart enough to see, whoa, that's going to be really huge. We do a Batman series with Ben Affleck. The one thing that everyone loved about the unpopular Batman v Superman and the fairly popular Snyder Cut, he was like the best thing of both. We do a series with him. How can they go wrong? I think it's a very good chance that's going to end up happening.
Wow. And we reported on Midnight's Edge Espanol this morning that, talking about that story, Affleck coming back, hopefully, is, culture. We want our movie stars to be the superheroes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. We want Ben. We want Henry. And later on down the line, if it works out, we want a Michael B. But we want to do it right. But for Batman, hands down, Affleck. I mean, that's exciting.
Well, Henry Cavill is Superman, but
man.
I think they may have beat him up too much that he won't stay. But anyway, Andre, I know you, like you said, I know you have to go.
Yes, I have to leave. So soon, but I was otherwise engaged. So Tom sent me the link, and I had the opportunity because I'm sitting by my office, but I have some other stuff that I have to get back into. But thanks for having me. I'm just only sorry it was so short, but it was a pleasure to drop in.
You're welcome.
While we have a moment here, I'm so sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Tom. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
No. I was just go ahead and finish. You were going to talk about Andre.
Oh no, I was just going to say thanks to Andre. You're welcome anytime. I mean, and if ever Tom knows you're available and shoots you the link, it's a great pleasure to have you. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And before I go, just to address Nina Infinity's question in the comments there, what's going to happen with Pattinson Batman? That's going to be released, and I think just like before, the response to it is going to decide what happens with it, because Killar, he was pro Snyderverse, but not for any kind of ideological reason. It was just that I think this is going to make money, therefore I'm pro Snyderverse. If Battinson makes money, I'm going to be pro Battinson. But if it doesn't make money, Hamada, that has set this reputation on it, he's gone. I think that without any strong backers at the studio, it's not looking good for the future beyond the Pattinson Batman movie. It's my guess.
Boss, let's get all the wokosos out of there and let's get back to entertaining us. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sounds like a plan. With that, I'm really sorry, but I have to be leaving.
Take care, Andre. And with that, you might want to know though, I just learned of the sad passing of actor Charles Grodin. Yeah, so
well, may he rest in peace.
Yeah,
great career.
He was so great, incredible character actor, amazing.
Yeah,
what a shame. That's sad.
Very and a much dog so. Barks in his memory. Did you hear that?
Yeah,
it's Beethoven waiting for you, Charles.
Yes. With that, I have to be leaving.
Take care, Andre.
So, take care, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Bye. So Charles Grodin passed away. That's too bad. Great character actor, like you were just saying there. But no, this Warner business, it's a mess.
He was funny, man.
Yeah.
I mean, now that you mention him, just real quick. Midnight Run with De Niro.
Yeah, Midnight Run.
That was such a great film, and just hours. Just think about how many hours you watched that, how many times you watched that. It was so fun, and at the very end, he does the right thing and just cuts him loose. And I was like, "That's amazing! That's awesome."
Spoilers.
Oh, come on! That 3 million years old. It's like
I'm kidding.
35 years old. If you haven't watched it by now, I can't help it. But I do want to get to the super chat real quick because it's one of the few I can get to. Arasaka, the fancy goose for $2 says, nothing girly about home improvement and decor. No, I agree with you 100%. But there are shows on there like some of the gardening stuff that's a little rough. And, but the cooking shows are amazing on the cooking channel. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff.
I love to garden. I love to garden, but there's a new one coming on Culture where it's the laundry guy and he's spewing out advice, to and it's kind of interesting, but definitely, not the most manliest of.
Well, I tell you what, it's why I've been hesitant. It's why I've been hesitant to do like a video every once in a while on hair care, because I'm like, people are going to point fingers at me, and that's okay. I mean, I it doesn't matter. I'm comfortable as I am.
You and Ords should do it.
Oh,
that would be epic. Where you guys just do different shampoo products for men.
Yeah,
you guys will get a lot of views on those hair videos.
Maybe so, but we wouldn't be wrong. And that's the thing there's different hair care for men and women. We have different pH balancing in our skin. Our hair's a little slightly different. There's a lot of differences there. But and Andre Enrico says Food Network just signed a multi-million contract with Chef Guy Fieri. Yeah, absolutely. And I liked his show. The dives, whatever I hate. Triple D, whatever it is, drive-ins, dives, and something or another.
Nina, I'm with you. She's part of the no shampoo movement. Only condition. I don't do either.
Yeah.
Fuck it all.
There's a thing. Disney stocks didn't
move. Tom. No.
The U.S. lost confidence in Disney. They've been headed downward. They hit a peak and then they started to fall. The news about them slowing down. This is something we were going to get to today for sure. Was the slowing down of the subscriber growth. That's not good news for them. That was the last pole they had, holding the tent up. And so and they're going to have a hard time kicking back up to full speed with the parks. Paris Disney doesn't open until the 17th of June. Hong Kong, as far as I know, is still closed. They have not quite the attendance they expect in Shanghai. Of course, the OLC partnership in Japan has been doing okay, and they have another park on the way that's nearby. That's obviously not Disney. I don't know. We'll have to see. But Disney's kind of in trouble, and I want to acknowledge Mexican Iron Man, who became a member of the channel. Thank you so much, Mexican Iron Man. Appreciate that. I wish I could still
Mexican Iron Man.
It's long gone. Yeah, he's great. He's a supporter of everybody. The guy is this amazing. He's amazing. He's just he's really amazing.
He's fully in South Carolina now at his new house. And
hopefully he's well settled, because I know
that's the word I was looking for. He's settled in and walking his little dog Bambino around South Carolina.
Yeah, I love that. There are certain parts of South Carolina just absolutely gorgeous. Love to live there. Not only that, cheaper to live there than North Carolina. Taxes are lower, especially, and fuel is less expensive.
Well, he's coming from California, so
oh gosh, he's like, I'm rich.
I'm rich. I have a backyard.
I have land. I get a boat. It's pretty cool stuff. So, you know what? This is a good take. There is no news anymore, only propaganda. Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, the trades made me really nervous. There are a couple stories today that just concerned me. Right. And RC from the NYC sent me a super chat I'm trying to get to before it disappears, but we'll get to a couple more of these. And Thomas Gilkey's here. What's up, Thomas? Platonic Guardian for $5 super chat says Turner Sports surprised everyone with their NHL deal. Yes, they did. I'm curious if they want to build a standalone app or if they might be looking to sell it all. No, actually, consider this. Discovery's bringing in their sports products to combine with the TBS and TNT sports products. So you will have like soccer. It's Eurosport is there. You'll have MLB. You'll have some NBA. You'll have obviously the NHL deal, you'll have NCAA basketball. You'll for the tournament in specifically,
inside the NBA, one of the most popular shows. Period.
Well, it used to be. Now it used to be. So, but now,
well, I mean,
again, no, you're not wrong.
It could be again. I'm just thinking of the personalities, not the politics.
No, absolutely. Oh yeah, my gosh, yeah. You have brilliant humans on that show. I love it. Excellent, very well produced show. There's no doubt about it.
But yeah, they're showing up. I was asked yesterday about HBO's boxing. Do you know how vital, or if they're still doing Boxing After Dark?
I haven't seen it. Well, again, I haven't watched television for a long time. I only watch like a few things on streaming. I haven't seen it for a while. I used to watch it regularly when it was on. So, but every once in a while they do have a premiere fight, right? Unfortunately, some of their other sports coverage shows went downhill.
Yeah,
the Costas driven stuff.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I mean, they've had some real strong efforts when it comes to behind the scenes football stuff and things like that. So, I mean, HBO is still invested in sports, but again, you have a premium level of television with HBO, right? And then you have the also ran television. I mean, they've set themselves above all of this other stuff, which is why bringing that quality of programming to a streaming platform, they're going to pick and choose what to switch and, what to flip over to HBO Max, what to flip over to Discovery, when it comes to these streaming things as well. But they're gonna try to put all their premium stuff there.
Your chat's going off, bro.
Say again.
Your chat is like answering a lot of our questions. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, dude. I know. I'm trying to get to them again. Thank you, Mexican Iron Man. I want to get to all these super chats because you guys are killing it. You really are. You got Deej here, the Seaman. You guys, Lord Runners here. So many great contributors to this. They're gonna nosedive. There's no doubt about it. They were in trouble. 170. They started at 174 and change, or finished yesterday 174 and change, I think. So it wouldn't surprise me. They were overvalued. The market's been saying it. Yesterday, they went from flat to down for both short and midterm and long range. They're projected flat, so that doesn't bode well. And it shows that the political bologna sausage that they tried to saddle their employees with and everybody else with is backfiring on them, which we knew it would. But hey, it is what it is. Chat jumped on me. Super sticker. Thank you. Super sticker from RC from the NYC. Thank you so very much for that. Did either of you catch what that was? Because I can't see it. So I just want to say thank you for that, RC. I appreciate it. RC from the NYC.
Like it's a
hippopotamus
hippo with a thumbs up. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I love that one. That one's cute. I love that.
With the hat back.
Yeah.
With the cap back.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of sports.
So,
I'll wait.
No. Go ahead, please.
Are you caught up? Are you cool?
I think I have caught up with almost everything. I'm scrolling down. We've got so many great people in the chat. You guys are phenomenal.
I mean, two things about that. DAZN is really killing it with their boxing talent. Plutonic Guardian says.
Oh, DZN.
Yeah. Well, they call it DAZN. And I think Canelo and Oscar De La Hoya and I believe Mayweather, they're all joint owners. I don't know about Mayweather. But also too just a bit of a fanboy baseball news yesterday when Albert Pujols made his Dodger debut and got an RBI single for us.
Wow.
And he said in his press conference, I still got some gas in the tank. And I'm like, this is why I love baseball so much. It's like, forget the politics. I'm a baseball kid, but the fact that Will Smith, the catcher, who's a young guy, his favorite player growing up was Albert Pujols. He batted right behind Albert Pujols yesterday and hit a home run. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that culture.
That's amazing. See, and
that's play for the Brewers.
Pujols?
No, St. Louis Cardinals. He won the World Series in 2010 with the Cardinals.
Almost single
baseball.
Yeah, sorry. Sports ball, unfortunately, especially baseball, I get quizzed on still, even though I don't watch. So, I think Paulie knows why I get quizzed on it.
Well, we might have a little bit of an answer, and I guess I don't know if I could really use I would fucking knew it, but it looks like Killar's exit, which is going to cost Warner Brothers upwards of $5 million. It looks, or 5 billion. Where was it here? I can't remember.
Not
5 million. 5 million. Yeah, 5 million. The reason is the studio lost over $1 billion in box office revenue and talent profit participation.
Holy cow.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous.
Can you say that again one more time?
Let me bring that up real quick.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I see the article here. That's nut bar.
So when I said that Legendary was pissed because they lost all that money,
dude. But we knew they were pissed. I mean, we could have predicted that. Just they were mad because it was so much money they left on the table that thing could have been $1 billion. Here it is, guys. Discovery Warner deal chatter. John Malone's big move. Color's exit plan. Here we go. So you want to read this, Tom?
You can if you want to.
No, please do. You guys.
I can do some reading if you want.
Go for it, Paulie.
Please go for it.
Discovery's tie-up with more. I feel like getting my. Why not? Right
there, you go. You need bigger.
Yeah. I mean, bigger. There we go. Discovery's tie-up with Warner Media has stirred up a firestorm of chatter about the impact of the deal that took nearly everyone in Burbank and Hudson Yards by surprise over the weekend. After a day of digesting the news and reading tea leaves, industry insiders were focused on the timing of Warner Media's CEO Jason Kilar's departure and the size of his severance package after 1 year and 2 weeks on the job. Shall I continue?
Yes, please do.
Okay. Yep. Another surprise that emerged from the fine print on the deal was the changes it signaled for John Malone, the Liberty Media and former TCI baron, who is a longtime investor as an individual in Discovery. The transaction has all the hallmarks of a Malone engineered deal in that shareholders avoid taxes through the complicated structure known as a reverse Morris trust, a process which allows AT&T to spin off Warner Media as a separate entity that will then merge with Discovery. Okay. You want to roll it on up for me a little bit?
Yeah. I think he died.
Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. The surprise came with the news that Malone and other longtime Discovery shareholder Advance/Newhouse, the holding company for the Newhouse of Condé Nast fame, has given up their preferred voting shares to help smooth the road for the transaction. When the deal is done, the combined Discovery Warner Media will have only one class of stock with no preferred voting rights for any shareholders. That will make it more palatable for institutional investors. And yes, it will also make it easier for the new company to be acquired someday.
That's true. That's smart. That's beautifully done. I love that. Wow.
Yeah. Malone and Advance/Newhouse at present together control 44% of the voting rights in Discovery. Malone will be on the enlarged company's board of directors, but won't have any special rights beyond the economic value of the shares that he owns.
That's good.
Excuse me. The $43 billion to be paid to AT&T in cash and stock will leave AT&T shareholders with 71% of the merged company, while Discovery shareholders keep 29%. It is unclear how much of that 29% is owned by Malone and Advance/Newhouse and how those preferred shares will be converted to common stock.
Well, that'll come out at some point, and we'll have a better. It'll have to because of the way the SEC operates. So we'll know down the road what it looks like. But this still leaves AT&T with the largest control still for what will be a very profitable endeavor, in my opinion. Plus 43 billion. Part of that's going to be cash. So it makes the previous purchase pretty valuable to them, and they don't have to amortize this debt anymore, which is good. But anyway,
yeah, but that's almost like half of what they paid for Warner originally.
Right, but they still own the majority.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, so it kind of almost is what I said yesterday.
Yeah,
like basically AT&T is doing to Discovery what Warner did to AT&T. But yeah, go ahead.
yeah.
Another telling detail was found in the repped by credits for the bankers on the deal. LionTree, a boutique media investment firm headed by we'll just say that, has been Malone's backer since the day the firm was founded in 2012. But LionTree was listed as a financial advisor to AT&T alongside Goldman Sachs, not Malone or Discovery.
Wow.
Burkhoff worked with AT&T on the transaction to better understand AT&T's needs and the assets carved out for the new entity. Burkhoff declined to elaborate on the deal other than to say that was the right move for both companies.
True.
AT&T gets some debt relief that it desperately needed while retaining the majority of a company with strong potential. And AT&T gets proven media CEO in David Zaslav, who has led Discovery since 2007.
No, I just want to stop you there for a second.
Yeah.
Because I think that really does point out. Oh, bring it back up.
Oh, you want? Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I was going to concentrate on that last bit there.
Yeah, go ahead.
The debt relief part. Why would AT&T have so much debt right now? Warner Brothers.
Yeah, the Warner deal, 85 million. Am I right? Or 85 million.
That's what I'm saying. Like AT&T is bleeding money because of them.
They had at one point in time, they carried the biggest debt load of any of these media companies. Sorry, Tom, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, but that's exactly my point is, Warner is huge.
Yeah.
And they had a big, huge debt when AT&T came on board to begin with. And since then, they've been doing nothing but spending daddy's money.
Yep.
And now they put AT&T in bad debt, it sounds like.
Yeah. Well, and it's the thing. I mean, you again, debt isn't bad. We had this conversation yesterday with Andre.
Right.
Debt's not bad as a corporation. You want to have debt. You want to operate some parts of your business on that debt, so you can amortize things. So you can you use other people's money to and then you service the debt. If it's cheaper to service the debt, it's an excellent business strategy, right? So yeah, but again, I mean, if they essentially are coughing up, they're coughing up about half the company's value in this new venture, but retaining well over 50% of it of the rights to it through the shares. So I'm sorry, this overall is amazing, and I'm not sure they'll cover this here. But you're looking at an $8 billion operating revenue to start and to help retire debt in this new merged entity. So they're not going to be cash poor to start with.
No.
There you are.
No, and this is a win-win scenario for both teams. I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be probably one of the best. And for Warner Brothers, they need it. It's going to be probably one of the best marriages they've ever had. Because Warner going back, 30 years? Back to the AOL thing, 20 years?
Yeah. AOL Time Warner.
Ever since then, they've had nothing but problems trying to keep, because the company just kept getting sold and bought and sold and bought and sold and bought. Like, it's not even funny. Like, because like I said, all these other companies like New Line and stuff that used to be great got sucked up into this company. Same thing with TBS and TNT. So yeah, like this company needs a shot of new blood, I guess, for lack of a better term. And hopefully this guy Zaslav, is that how you say it? Zaslav? David Zaslav, yeah. Hopefully he can do it for him.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident. I don't know, and like you said, I mean, I'm still now. I'm cautiously optimistic, and everybody can find out why tomorrow in the video that I put together. But I still feel like this is good for both companies, and I think it could bode well for consumers, and that's the most important thing here, because people are going to start to get what they want. Paulie addressed it. He said, "We want movie stars. We want legitimate movie stars to be our superheroes. That's what we want. That's what we've wanted forever."
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
Let me grab a couple of these super chats real quick.
Yes, sir.
Keep going. Valiant Renegade for $2 says, "Great people in the chat?" ? Yeah, I'm here. What's up? What's up, Valiant Renegade? Good to see you. RC from the NYC just mentioning, he's the best hitting first baseman ever. I would tend to agree with that. Next stop, Cooperstown, quite possibly.
Great human being.
Yeah, pretty good guy, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the soccer stuff we were talking about, absolutely. World Cup, RC had mentioned it before about European football, soccer, whatever you want to call it, is going to dominate the world for the next 3 years. Just be prepared. You just get ready and dive into it, because soccer can be enjoyable or it can be terribly boring. So. Stephanie, I just wanted to say thank you for being here, because I didn't get a chance to say that before. I kept highlighting you, but it is what it is. Black Angus reviews 1,000%. He jaded the directors like Nolan and JJ. Wasn't going to be cool with the deal. Absolutely,
no, and that's what I was saying from the start, exactly. And like in this article that we didn't get all the way through, but like it says, they lost $1 billion in revenue that they didn't have to.
Yeah, and Ken Burns is one of the best directors out there, especially with this documentary you're talking about. I'll rewatch it for sure.
I do like that documentary, even though I don't know sports ball all that well.
Yeah.
Well, I got problems with the coverage of Ken Burns, but how he tells his story. I mean, from jazz to the Civil War to baseball. He even does. I've seen a lot of his stuff. So. What's great is he goes from the big to like this, like he'll just do one boxer, like the Jack Johnson story. That's a really good one. Or even the Depression. Civil War was a monster. That was an awesome series.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I like I said, I think he's really good. Some people don't, but I think he is.
Yeah,
Matt,
and this.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say also in this, he's looking at a stock option valued at almost $50 million too.
Yeah, I think he probably feels pretty good about what he's about to get in.
Well, he was left in the dark, it says about, and that's the other thing we heard a couple times now. So like this all happened under his nose, but anyway.
Well, but it had to. This had to happen in a.
We lost your audio.
Yeah, no, it just had to. Otherwise there would have been. There would have been a revolt from people underneath him, and probably from him. And again, he was brought in to do a job he'd only gotten about 1/3 of the way through. Now you're leaving it to David Zaslav to finish off. I think, at least in my opinion, they're going to start cutting fat left and right.
Absolutely. And I see you got a super sticker from Mags there. It looks like it's a heart.
Thank you very much for that, Max. Sorry, I keep muting myself. The bear dog is like.
Okay. Did you get that one from Ord's Boards earlier?
I probably didn't. Ords, I'm very sorry, my friend. What? Because the chat keeps jumping.
It's not much. Just trying to send some love, fam. It was a $2 super chat from my boy Ords.
Yeah, Ords, dude, love you, love Amber. You guys are awesome. I love hanging out with you. Looks like we're gonna try to finish off.
And then Krusty Booger sent a thumbs up.
Moco, Krusty Moco, cousin.
You told me it was Booger.
It is a booger, but
all right,
his name is Moco. Don't yell at me.
Moco.
So Tom is not a wokoso. He is a mocoso.
Snot-nosed
brat.
Snot-nosed brat. That's for sure. Yes, Krusty Moco.
Yeah. And, a lot of people they talk about sports ball. And you know what? No matter what anybody says, it's a huge part of pop culture and entertainment and our culture in the United States. And it has been for a very long time. And when you pull that out, it really hurts us all. So, yeah. And more soccer talk here.
The White Sox, hashtag White Sox so white.
Oh, hey now. That's terrible. There's a Krusty Moco for a $3 super sticker. Thank you very much for that.
He's like, Booger's fine, see?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Booger's fine. There you go. Yeah.
Whatever.
Why do they call you Booger? I don't know.
Anyway, Machini90 for a $5 super chat here says, "Hail Culture, Tom and Polly. Much love, guys." Well, much love to you, Mach. What's going on, man? It's good to see you, buddy.
Or should I call him Man Bikini?
No, we just, let's hit the love element, man. Let's have some fun. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
And Raptors is here. What's up? We got Soul Assassin here. You guys are just people just rolling in. See, you get Tom, Andre, and Paulie on a stream. People just start to roll in. So it's good to see you all. Hologram Nunchuck. What's up, my friend?
Nunchucker.
Is it me or the handles of people in the community have gotten just better and better over the months?
Oh, I know.
Inventive.
So cool, great. Man.
Yeah. And one day we're gonna have to get Stephanie on here. Maybe next week. Maybe next Tuesday if Stephanie's available. That'd be awesome.
She's a force. She is. I called her a G the other day, and she was like, "What was that?"
Yeah, she is. She's an old school G in this community. Yeah, man.
Steph, that means you gangster. You a badass.
Yeah. Barack Dermis, I was here for an hour, didn't talk as much today. Well, hey, it's good to see you. Yeah, look, man, sometimes I am one of those people, I will roll into somebody's chat. They will never know I'm there. And the next time I talk to them, I will drop on them that, hey, that was great. You said these great things, yada, yada, yada. And yeah, you never know. But absolutely. People come for the show, but stay for the bear dog who's on my lap. He's trying to say, I'm hot. Oh, you're
baby.
It's like, I'm hot, Dad. I'm hot dog. So yeah. Anyway, he's
sexy and he knows it.
Yeah, he got groomed, and like I said, they cut him a little tighter than he would have preferred, and so he's got a little bit of itchiness. So doesn't help with sleeping. Yeah, you are an OG, and now you're blushing. All right, very good. Oh, now she's leaving because you chased her off. Look at that. What's up, Jacob? Good to see you. All right. So you want to finish up with this, or you guys want to move on to the next, or you guys want to talk about, Disney swaps? What do you?
I think we've killed this one. What about you, Paulie?
Sure show. I'm just I'm along for the ride.
If you guys, if you had more words to say.
Well, this is something that's going to be developing out throughout the week here.
Yeah, at least maybe the month.
I suggest stay tuned to Midnight's Edge and Midnight's Edge Espanol, CultureCasino, especially for all the business side of things. That's definitely where to go. So,
yeah, and in fact, we might have more tonight. I think the High Council.
Lorena. Yeah, and Lorena.
And absolutely Lorena, man. Lorena's on top of stuff. I love it. I love hanging out with her. It's the weirdest thing. It seems like wherever she goes, I'm there. So people tried to ship us the other day. So, but it's awesome. She's so talented. This is true. This is the other thing I wanted to talk about today. So thank you, Sven, for picking this up. Amazon's offering to buy MGM. I've heard 10 billion. Up to 10 billion, 9 billion seems to be the prevailing number out there. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but for an entire studio with a name like that, that's all they're going to get for it.
Discount, baby. Discount. Look, you killed off your most valuable property in James Bond in a film that you haven't even released yet.
Well, they don't even really own that much stock in it.
No, they don't. But I'm just saying, I mean, they have been known, MGM has been known for releasing the Bond films, distributing the Bond films forever. I mean, for a very short time, they shared that. And in fact, I guess they're still sharing it technically.
Just the U.S., but yeah.
Yeah. But it's just, if you think back, you're like, wow, this is nuts, And so $9 billion.
Dare I say it's not even worth that?
Wow, dude, really?
You want to know why? Because I don't think this comes with all the classics. This only comes with anything past 1970, I think.
Pink Panther, all the SG,
maybe 65, but like anything that Turner bought, I don't think it includes, which means like they don't have Wizard of Oz, don't have Gone with the Wind, don't have any of those big ones like that. And Bond, they have the distribution rights for, but they don't technically own them or whatever. And then, the only other franchises they have are like Rocky, RoboCop. That's it. They don't really have any. Bill and Ted. And they just own they just distributed the last one. They don't technically own that one either. They don't really have much for properties. That's what I'm saying. So what Amazon is really doing here is buying like their last 30, 40 years or whatever, or more like 50 years worth of movies, I guess.
Well, but again, it adds more to their catalog. And the thing that bothers me the most is they could possibly change those films and edit those films. and tear apart those films, especially the Bond ones. And that's, that's crazy. And you know what? This is an excellent observation, Bud Boy. It's starting to feel like a monopoly in Hollywood, or is it just me? You are not wrong. You're not wrong. And this is very true. Seaman, Amazon is very woke. MGM going there is bad. Well, it was bad.
MGM was barely. This is kind of like the Warner deal. This does two things. This brings MGM back to life for however long.
Yeah.
And it gives Amazon an inside track to finally having a studio, like an actual film studio.
Which this is. It gives them the studio assets, which again, that would be that they'd love to have that. It's like a turnkey studio too.
You can basically consider MGM Amazon Studios now.
Yeah, basically.
Kind of like how we call Columbia Sony. We might as well start calling MGM Amazon if they buy it. It's the same difference.
That's still a bummer. I really preferred when Columbia was owned by Coca-Cola. That's just me.
Yeah. That guy, though, the guy that ran, I can't think of his name, though. He didn't like Ghostbusters, though. That goes to show you.
No accounting for taste. Absolutely not. But let's do this story real quick. I got this one from Bloomberg, so it'll at least be business oriented. Amazon Inc. is in talks to buy the James Bond movie company Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, according to a person familiar with the matter, potentially taking one of the last major independent film studios off the market. This is going to happen. I don't think it's potential. Amazon is considering a bid of $9 billion. I keep hearing 10, but that's fine. Said the person who asked not to be identified because of the deliberations are private. Discussions could still fall apart and details such as price may change. The person said the information and Variety previously reported on the talks, which is true. An agreement would cap a rush of streaming deals that are set to make 2021 a record year, for media takeovers. Reports about the discussions came on the day that AT&T Inc. announced their plan to create a new entertainment company by merging assets with Discovery Inc. in an entity that will be valued at about $130 billion, including debt. Well, if you subtract debt, it's under $100 billion, but that's fine. Whatever. The proliferation of streaming services, include new arrivals such as Disney Plus, HBO Max, and Paramount Plus, has put pressure on Amazon to acquire more programming. MGM's vast backlog also provides plenty of material at a time when production of new shows and movies is still recovering from the global crisis. MGM and Amazon declined to comment on deal talks. Of course they are. They are, negotiating. More than $80 billion in media takeovers have been announced so far this year, according to data collected by Bloomberg. That puts 2021 on track to the busiest period for the industry since at least 2000, when what Tom was talking about, the AOL Time Warner deal, actually got put together. So there you are. So, but I agree with you, Tom. From what I've seen, this doesn't do a lot for Amazon other than provide them with a studio, despite, again, their access now to Stargate stuff, especially the TV stuff, and the Bond catalog, the Pink Panther films, some of those stuff that are in that, in that area of things. I guess they also include, let's continue to read. Why not? It includes Rocky and Silence of the Lambs. Apparently they had held talks with Apple and Netflix about the Bond film. Well, we know that's true. And you know how many times they turned that down, Tom?
At least well, you mean the new one? You talking about the new Bond film?
Yeah.
Yeah, it went from a couple different places. Apple turned it down, Netflix turned it down, Amazon turned it down, and then now it's ending up on Paramount Plus.
Oh my gosh.
See, Paramount had a deal. See, here's another thing: is Paramount has last I knew, I think Paramount had an exclusive deal with MGM for a while here on Paramount Plus, but I don't know how long it went for. So,
well, I have a feeling. Like I said, I have a feeling that this is a done deal. I mean, I don't see anything holding it back. I don't think regulation would hold it back. What do you guys think?
I could see them bumping a little bit because it's fucking Amazon. You know what I mean? But Amazon, do they really own any other huge entertainment entities other than their own?
They just make their own or buy somebody else's. Yeah, so
exactly. So I don't know if they'd really have a leg to stand on trying to stop that. I think this one will go through a lot quicker than the Warner one will.
Yeah, and Sven says this is a worse deal than Vader made with Lando.
I mean, Amazon's overpaying a little bit, but are they? Because, like I said, they're getting the MGM logo. Then they can get into the theatrical game. They can, compete.
It's a lock key studio. I mean, it's a turnkey studio, right? I mean, you literally walk in, turn the keys, you're up and running, right? And they need that, and I mean, they have the same desire Netflix does, which is to get films that they make into, conversations, around these awards. I don't know why the Academy Awards is becoming increasingly irrelevant, unfortunately.
Well, there is a reason to do it besides that, is it makes a movie more desirable. Like if you're watching, Amazon Prime and you see, oh, this movie's on here. Well, it was in theaters a few months ago. I'll check it out. Well, as opposed to where if you just come across it on Amazon, you're like, what's this? And you just skate right by it. This gives them the opportunity to put their original films out in theaters underneath the MGM banner and so on. And again, this is kind of like we were saying before with, it's the same kind of thing with this Discovery Warner deal, but it's a little different. I think both parties are going to benefit greatly from this.
Yeah, I think so too. And Stephanie says, this is interesting and yet another move no one saw coming. Actually, Tom, I think you talked about this at one point in time when Amazon in the deal, the purchase of the film, and you said it might be better off just buying the whole studio.
Well, I thought Paramount was going to buy them, but I'm like, there's no way Paramount can afford them. But yeah, I think I didn't look, but I think Paramount's got an exclusive deal for like the next year. But I mean, yeah, this puts Amazon in a position where they can, like I said, be a big player in Hollywood, and MGM doesn't have any big movies, I think, in the tank right now. I think the only thing they're sitting on is Bond.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're kind of ready to start fresh.
I can't remember what it is. There's something else they have tickling in the background. I cannot remember.
I don't know, but I don't think they have anything major other than like Bond and Addams Family, and that's about it.
Yeah. But I'm just bummed out. I just, I can understand their moves, but I don't have to like it. So
yeah, and like Platonic Garden said, their post 86 library ain't nothing to sneeze at. I'd add 87 in there because you got like I think 87 or 88's when I know Spaceballs was 87, but when did Princess Bride come out? Was that 87 as well, or was that 88? Anyway, that's like the end of their run. I mean, they had a couple of decent comedies, but yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. But you know what? This is the truth, C-Man. I mean, classic movies and shows are going to be gold. You're right. As long as they don't change them. And the minute it gets out that they've changed something, the backlash will be ridiculous, right? Yeah. What's up, Escapegoat? Kai rolled in here finally. What's up? Got memes out there. Antitrust under Biden. Yeah. Ha. No, you're 100%. Like I said, I think it'll skate by the regulators.
I'm not so sure that that MSN has this right, because I don't know if they own 2001 anymore. I think Warner has that.
Well, this is out of Bloomberg. It's just MSN money to pull in a
Bloomberg. But just because I do know that they have. I don't know. I have to check on that, but
if they did, well, Dr. Zhivago,
because I think that might also have been in the Turner Classic sale. See, because for those who don't know, Turner bought up to like 1965 or 70 of all their classic films out of MGM for Turner Classic, and now that's why they're all under the Warner Brothers umbrella instead of MGM, like the ones I mentioned, like Wizard of Oz and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean that's like their heyday stuff.
Yeah, and the only thing that I know wasn't involved in that was like Culture said, the Pink Panther. And then the Bond is so wrapped up in so many different things, so that MGM, all they have is really the distribution deals on it. But yeah,
they're still tied to it and still have access to the catalog. So, I mean,
but yeah, that opens up Amazon to having the Bond films exclusively in a couple of years, probably. That's true. That's a big get. But you're right, Culture. Does this mean they're going to alter them at all? I mean, have they done it yet to anything? Not particularly that I can think of.
Not that we know, but they were more than happy to tell everybody that anything they bought on there they didn't own.
Well, I don't know if they were happy to tell people that as so much as they got pulled into court, or they got threatened to pull it. I don't know exactly what happened there, but yeah. I mean, it's one of those stupid things. But
well, I mean, they're already talking about adding post ads into previously created productions, right? So literally, you know, some of the signage that existed in the film that a company paid for can be altered with the new ad.
That is true, because that was the one point of the one article was saying, was like, yeah, that they may have to own these movies. So that is true. I mean, this does open the door for Amazon to insert ads in a lot of these movies. You got a point there.
Yeah. So so, you know, shop, you know, for, you know, gosh, what's something modern? Yeah, buy the new iPhone in the Godfather film.
Or more so, like they would push their own Amazon brand stuff. And then they'd even have it during the middle of the movie, where when you see it on the screen.
Yeah, instead of the old-fashioned grocery store on the window, you know, like when you used to paint your windows, now you're going to have it painted with a Whole Foods logo.
Yeah, and like, I mean, like if you have like Amazon Essentials or whatever the hell their brand thing is called, is like somebody uses something on screen and then like pop up a deal maybe that'll like buy now if you need it, you know, kind of stupid shit.
Yeah, it could be a problem. It could be a problem.
No, I can see where you're coming from on that, aside from even just the censoring aspect, but really,
I'm just thinking like a lot of these twisted business guys do. You know, all these, you know, MBAs who think they're.
Well, am I surprised by this? Are you guys surprised by any of this? Not really. I'm not, but I knew this stuff was going to come to a head. I'm just curious what's next or who's next, because Paramount is kind of. Do you think Paramount or Lionsgate might be snaked up by somebody? What do you guys think?
Paulie?
I mean, you know, gangs are ganging up. You know, everyone's shoring up.
Well, I mean,
you know,
CBS
they're trying to find the best deals, and you know, it's the streaming wars. I mean, it's, you know, everyone wants the best entities.
I mean, I think Paramount's safe because it has CBS behind it, but like Lionsgate, not so sure. Sony, they've been kind of almost hinting that they're willing to sell Columbia.
I think Sony will probably sell at some point, or you know, they'll sell off Sony Studios and all of that, all their assets.
Yeah, Columbia TriStar.
Yeah, I think it'll all go.
But the thing that they also have with that, though, that is very lucrative is the television side of things. So I don't know.
Yeah, they do pretty well with that. There's no doubt about it. And you know, and Sven, you're right. I mean, you know, this is what they're going to do because they want to. Again, it's all this stakeholder crap that I don't want to get into the politics of it all on the channel. I just don't. But like I said, I mean, you're going to see coverage on Midnight's Edge. You're going to see coverage on Midnight's Edge Espanol. Lorena Creole is going to cover it. I'm going to cover it. If you know, this is the kind of stuff that this is where we love to live. So we'll keep up with this as much as we can. I think it's going to be interesting to cover these couple of stories, plus the Disney stuff over the course of the next.
So what's going on with Disney? Because I know you mentioned that before.
Oh, their stock's tanking. One of our wonderful chat members here had mentioned that, you know, it began a slide that began mid-February, right after the Gina thing, and it has slowly gone down. Recently, I think it dropped another $4 today. If it's down at 170, I haven't checked again in a little bit, but you know, and they have been overvalued. Analysts have been saying it for quite some time, and I've been agreeing with them that entire time. I'm like, this is way overvalued. They aren't producing earnings, and they're not going to produce earnings that will be able to support that. They earned a great amount of profit this last quarter through a lot of write-offs and not write-offs, a lot of cost cutting and things like that took place, and pushing projects down the way so they weren't paying for them. So they essentially, you know, created some profit out of a $600 million revenue loss. So they profited $901 million on a $600 million revenue loss. So where did that come from? Scaling back stuff, right? It's the only place it could come from. So, yeah, it's just, like I'm going to keep saying it. We're in a very odd place right now. We just need to keep an eye on it and call it out when it happens. So, Universal will be next to merge with someone, I think. Well, you know what? I don't think Comcast is willing to part with NBC Universal. I don't think they're going to have any interest in that. They're going to be the last content distributor outright that has their own in-house media. Right? Am I wrong? I think I'm right. Because I think that's why AT&T wanted to hang on to their media assets so closely. Right? I think so. All right, we got a couple super chats, and we're going to wind down. Like I said, just keep an eye on all of us. We'll do our best to try to cover it the best we can, guys. Thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. Platonic Guardian for $5 super chat says William Barr made a mistake undoing the Paramount decrees. They could have been used to block studios from even having their own streaming services. Bill Barr did that? Really? Tom, do you know anything about that? I'll have to look it up.
I didn't hear about that, but I wonder if that has something to do with that theatrical thing. But
that was from 48. Yeah, it was an antitrust case in the Supreme Court that decided the fate of film studios owning their own theaters. This is a straight concept. Yeah, we talked about this. We do talk about this on several occasions, or Tom and I have, about the fact that I
didn't know that had anything to do with streaming services, but
would absolutely owning the ability to distribute the film in that manner through their own entity, their own theater entity. In this case, I guess the natural extension of that would be a streaming service. That's a brilliant observation, Platonic Guardian. Excellent. It looks to me that people who are bad for business are getting their pink slips. Well, yeah. At least on the Warner side of things. What do you think, Tom? Think that's accurate?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying before. Is this whole thing is like, you guys are losing. I mean, they ain't even been there. This ain't even been happening for a year. I mean, Sarnoff's not even been there for the better part of
a year,
7 months.
Yeah,
6-7 months almost. Well, a little bit more than 6 months, but since August of 2020, so that's not very long. And Kalar, same difference, but I mean, he looks like he's getting a pretty good exit package, and he's still gonna benefit from stocks. And what was that?
$55 million if you take in his compensation plus the stocks. Holy cow! Yeah. He was one of the highest paid guys last year.
Yeah, so I don't think he's going to have a problem. Like I said, Hamada, I'm not so sure. Hamada doesn't really make so much sense to me. The only reason Hamada makes sense is if they really are hung up on getting the Snyderverse and he's that in between. Because like Andre was saying, Hamada is not necessarily a bad he's a lot better than Toby Emmerich, I'll give you that. That's my point. But I'm not so sure where that came from necessarily, because I would have thought the names I would have been hearing were Sarnoff and Emmerich, and Hamada was safe.
Sarnoff and Hamada and Emmerich are probably the three that if
but
yeah, they would be a big win for everybody.
But I just don't understand Hamada. Hamada's a move that I don't quite understand, because he seems like a entertainment friendly. You know what I mean? To a point. Outside of the whole Ray, unless it's because of the Ray Fisher thing. That's the only thing I can see factoring into that.
Yeah, and that was a pal cast on the wrong person, but we can talk about that.
No, I totally agree. Like, he had fuck all to do with Justice League, so I don't understand what the hell Ray Fisher's beef with him is, other than, I mean, whatever. But I mean, I don't understand, because unless it's all because of the loss, I mean, they're just blaming it on everybody. I mean,
a lot of money, dude. It's a lot of money, and they've been doing it for a bit. I mean, and now you can't point at the global crisis. But all right, guys, we're gonna wind down. I want Tom and Paulie to promote the stuff they've got going. Some great stuff. You guys need to check it out. Tom, you're up first, my friend.
Well, check out Paulie on the Midnight's Edge Espanol channel every Tuesday and Thursday. And tonight, Lorena Criolla is going to have our good buddy Robert Meyer Burnett on her channel. So check that out.
Yeah, awesome.
Other than that, you can probably find me on Midnight's Edge in the morning tomorrow. And, yeah, I'm sure I'll pop up somewhere in the meantime. You never know.
Well, fantastic, Tom. And thank you for that. Thanks for being here. I appreciate your time, Tom. I know you had to wake up to make this happen. So thanks for waking up today. Paulie, what you got going on, man? You got big stuff going on. Your channel, the Midnight's Edge Espanol channel. Go.
Yeah, well, it's good to be on here. I appreciate the invite. And to anyone that doesn't know the Latino Slant channel in the chat, come check us out. Where I have such stunning new videos, such as my hat collection, and I just put a video up of me and my my Panama hat. And then in Espanol, we just put up a video on the Teletubbies being the inspiration for the new Loki television show.
Okay, then I can't wait to see that. So,
And that one's bilingual. That one's pretty hilarious. I just put it up.
Well, hey, you guys are cleaning up my Spanish, right? I'm relearning Spanish because of you guys. So I appreciate the channel, man. I really do, and everything you're doing over there, man. So, but I appreciate you being here today, Paulie. I'm glad you had some spare time. I'm glad Romy decided to share you with us today. So
I gotta go and I gotta go.
I know. I saw it. You're negotiating time. I do the same thing. Anyway, thank you all for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you guys that were out there in the chat. We wouldn't be here without you. I was blessed with amazing guests today, and I'm very thankful for that. We've got, of course, the video I'm going to drop tomorrow is well underway, so I'll get that finished up. I'm now wrapping up an intermission clip that I will play every time Bear Dog needs my attention while I'm in a live stream, because that seems to happen way too often. And hopefully that'll be done before Friday. We've got lots of shows coming up that everybody's going to be on, so do check those out. Just so many talented people. So be sure, like I said, follow your favorite creators, support them to the hilt, share out their videos, make sure you like and comment. Comments right now are driving the algorithm more so than I had ever expected. So just keep that in mind. And if you shoot something to me in a comment, I will try to get back to you as quickly as I possibly can. With all of that being said, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. It is. And until next time, bye.